First video I'm going to make today, I'm going to show you how to draw the values on your face. And then the second one, I'm going to show you how to mix paint and get your values that way. So I'm going to put this aside for a second. This is sort of demo 2 of the day. Today's going to be a big demo day. I'm going to get you set up so that you know how to do and all the steps you need to do to get a finished painting. So I've done this drawing twice, as you can see. I personally like this one better, so I'm going to use this one. So we've got our picture of Beck, we've got our famous photograph or our object, whatever we're drawing, and we've done the contour lines. And we scaled it up. We scaled it up by dividing the face into 4 sections and then drawing that same quadrant, 4 quadrants on our watercolor paper, which is what we're painting on. And then we've taken that and some measurements to get the contour lines of the features, the outline of the face, the hair, the neck, and the shoulders, or whatever you're drawing. If you're drawing like a Coke can, you've drawn all your Coke cans, and that's where we're at right now. So the next step really is to draw the values. So remember we looked at that Michelle Obama portrait? I'm going to erase out my quadrants because I don't really feel like I need them anymore. And they're going to be a little bit distracting to my values, so I'm just going to get rid of them. For the most part, I drew them with a very dark pencil so that you guys could see it on the webcam, but yours is drawn with an HB, or a lead, an HB or a light lead. So hopefully you won't have these dark lines. Okay, make sure I'm using my correct pencil here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm really going to look at my photograph. This is important to really kind of define things. This photo doesn't have a huge range of value on the face, but there's definitely darker shadows around the face. So I'm going to go in and I'm actually going to draw where I think that shadow ends. And I might exaggerate it a little bit. Like if he has a cheekbone or something, I might exaggerate it. So the line I'm drawing now is kind of defining where I think the darkest shadow is going to be painted. I'm going to put this down so I could focus on drawing. Might get a little cheekbone action in there. And then his eyebrows. So I'm really going to go in and actually look at the contour line of his eyebrow. And I could even label it for myself if I feel like that's going to be helpful later on. I could go in and label these shapes. So if I wanted to say shadow, I could put an S in these shapes. Shadow, shadow, shadow. The nostrils are going to be in shadow. So I can't really draw an S there because they're already kind of colored in. This is probably going to be a highlight on the tip of the nose, so I could put an H in there. Around the edge of the nostril is probably going to be my medium tone. Maybe along the edge of the nose here, we're going to have a little bit of a lighter shadow, so that's going to be my medium tone. The eyes have like a darker tone in the pupil. And then he's got blue eyes, so that would probably be my medium tone. So just to outline what we're talking about here again, our shadow, right, is going to be one color, our darkest color. And then our medium tone is going to be like our gray, right, or whatever color we choose. And then our highlight is going to be our light, our tint. Okay, and if we have all 3 of those tones, then we're going to get some dimension in the face. It's going to look 3-dimensional. So he might have a little bit of the medium tone here to kind of show you that his lip comes out. The more shapes that you draw on your piece, the more 3-dimensional your piece will look in the end. So maybe this whole section is my light tone, and maybe I have some medium tone coming through here. Gotta think again about where does the face stick out? Wherever the face sticks out, that's where you're going to see your highlights. And like on the lips, the upper lip is in shadow, and then the lower lip has about 2 tones on it. It's got the light tone and the medium tone. This chin area is light, and in the end your piece is going to look kind of like a paint by numbers. You're creating a map for where you're going to put your values. So this is light, light, and then the forehead, there's a shadow on the forehead. I'm going to exaggerate it a little bit. This is light, maybe there's a little bit of medium around the edge. This is shadow, this is medium. And then his neck, there's quite a bit of shadow under his chin here. And then it kind of fades into like a medium tone and then a light tone. His shirt is light because it's white. His jacket actually is two-toned. There's some darker value in it, and then there's some medium tone. It's probably a black jacket, but it's got highlight on it, so. And then the background is all dark in this portrait, so I'm going to label that. And then his hair. Hair is going to be more complicated, right? So we might want to start to draw in some chunks of hair here so that we can kind of define where our values go, so that there's some texture in the hair. So I'll start with the darker texture. It's kind of a swoopy thing, right? Shadow, maybe a medium tone in there, maybe a highlight. You want to create sort of the direction the hair goes. Got some swoopy kind of tendrils over here. And then kind of like a lighter zigzaggy thing up here. And then he's got his ear. I'm really just dividing my image up into sections. Now you might say to yourself, well, Miss Greninger, I'm drawing a Coke can, and there isn't a whole lot of, well, you really have to look at the shadow and the highlight on that metal. That metal is going to have shadow and highlight to it. So you see how I've kind of divided the face up into sections? That's what I would like you to see you do today. If you're not done with drawing your whole thing yet, that's first. So finish drawing the contour lines of your face or your object first, and then the next step is to divide it into sections that represent your shadow, your medium tone, and your highlight. Okay, so I'm going to stop that demo and ask if there's any questions.